I just want to say a few words on technology and the digital world and how I feel that we are perhaps, and by we I mean humanity in general. This is something that can be seen all over the world. I sometimes wonder if we're relying too much on technology. I've made similar videos to this before, but I think I've had a number of frustrations in recent weeks just with technology matters. This laptop has been driving me nuts. I got a virus on it about 2 years ago, and it restarts literally about a dozen times a day. I barely even get annoyed anymore. It just happens, and then I. But it is frustrating when, for example, I'm in the middle of an email or something, it just restarts, and that's that. But that's only scratching the surface of irritation when it comes to technology. Take, for example, passwords. Virtually everything nowadays involves passwords. Now, I understand there's pragmatic reasons for this, but I can't help but feel that there's this sort of forced conformity with technology. What I mean by that is that, yeah, you sort of there's kind of a social pressure to go along with it, otherwise you're seen as a luddite, and I have a problem with that. I mean, it's this insinuation, this assumption that it makes life easier, and without question, there's aspects of technology that definitely do make life easier. But take, for example, a password thing. There are a few things I find more annoying online than when you create a password for something, for websites, and then for whatever reason it won't let you access the website again. It says, "Have you forgotten your password?" And I'm thinking, no, I haven't forgotten the password. I've typed it in exactly as it is. And it's like you can't argue with the machine. It's incredibly frustrating, and I know I'm not the only person that feels this way. I rejoined a gym recently that I'd been to before. Now, there has been some improvements. I can see that. So some of the machines have definitely um, advanced in terms of the sort of technology they provide, and I can see that. But again, to join up, I had to create an account and a password and all the rest of it. And I've been having a few issues when I get onto the treadmill. It's like it won't let the thing start unless I go to my account and type in it. Well, it's up and down. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's just irritating because I didn't have to do that before. And it just seems that almost everything in life now is about, well, how can we bring technology into this? Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite and I don't want to come across as a hypocrite. I utilize technology, I'm using it right now. I mean, this idea of vocalizing my opinions into a website on the internet that people potentially all over the world could see my thoughts. It's quite something, and I am grateful for that platform. And definitely, technology is something I appreciate. And I know that because when it's gone, whether, if I have a virus or something, then, it's one of those things you miss it when it's gone. When I was in China, I wanted a VPN, I not having access to Facebook and YouTube did, it was a sacrifice. And a colleague helped me to get a VPN and I got access to that. But it's not just for maintaining contact with family, which is very important. It's also for leisure, watching music videos, watching, having downtime. So there's a lot of things about technology that are definitely good. But my one of my issues with this reliance on the digital world is that it's become a fashion thing. I mean, I've heard that Huawei, the Chinese telecoms giant, has just released a model. I think I may be wrong about this, but I think the quotation was $4,000 for a phone. for a phone. Now, if I'm paying $4,000 for a phone, I would like that phone to be very, very special. But it just, that strikes me as madness. That you would potentially pay more for a phone than you would actually pay for a second-hand car. That to me is insanity. I mean, what would $4,000 get you? That could get you several holidays, several cheap holidays. To me, that's just insanity. And I remember last year when I was on the Shanghai subway, young guy, total stranger, said to me, "Why is your phone so small?" No, my phone is small. This is my phone. It's very basic. It's technically a smartphone, but it's a very basic smartphone. And it is a piece of junk. I do need another one, but I don't think he was knowingly being rude. It's just that in this, especially a city like Shanghai, it's like for someone to not have a top Galaxy or a top Apple or a top Huawei phone, it's like, whoa, who is this peasant? So I'm afraid I snapped with this young guy. I was like, well, I didn't snap, but I was a little bit short with him. I was like, oh, well, it's convenient for me. But I do think that we just need to be a little bit wary because technology can be a great thing, and it isn't just for entertainment. It can save lives when we're thinking about its use in medicine and healthcare. Um, it's can be used for a lot of practical things. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I utilize technology, and I could definitely see many, many merits to it. Definitely. But I can't help but think of that series Humans that was on the, I think it was BBC. It was either BBC or ITV. Can't remember, with Gemma Chan. Um, whereby synthetic humans were gradually developing a conscience. And I don't know, I just think that we need to get into the real world as well. I mean, what is a party nowadays? Back in the 80s and 90s, a party was people having fun, talking. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but there's a very strong chance nowadays if you organize a party, half your guests will be looking at the phones. And I just think that's very sad. Um, I try to teach my students about this to just teach them not to just remember that there's a real world as well, that there's people. So I give my viewers a challenge. After watching this video, see if you could do something that's got no connection to technology. Take a walk outside. Um, just reflect for 10 minutes with no music, no anything. Just I really think we need to get back to the real world as well. And I do think need to be a little bit wary that technology replaces basic fundamental human connections because I fear that it's being lost. And I'm no luddite. I think technology can be wonderful. I think the digital world can offer many, many things. And my goodness, I make use of it. But I just think we need to be a little bit wary that it doesn't replace basic, fundamental, natural humanity. Let me know your thoughts.